Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's podcast. And it's, as usual, with me. Why wouldn't it be? Let's be honest. And we have our normal guest. It is only a guest now. We don't have guests because Rob has clearly given up on life. But yeah, we have Ben as per usual.
Oh yeah, how you doing?
I'm not bad. And yeah, this week we were in Belgium for the Belgian Grand Prix.
It was weird they called it that.
Yeah, I know. It's funny, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to say the Spa Grand Prix, but then it didn't really sound right, so I went for Belgium.
Sounds like something that women do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Grand Prix when they go to the spa.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a different podcast this week. Bit of a different setting to it. All thanks to our very own Amari Watson. So if you don't like it, then blame him.
Yeah, I think I've got his address somewhere, so we'll put that at the end of the podcast. Send him some hate mail or something.
Yeah. But let's get on with the action. So to start off, we have qualifying. Ben, are you ready to do qualifying for us?
Well, no one else is going to, so I've been around, yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Go. Okay, so into the last chicane. We're on board with Lance. He's American, which is very close to the USA. At the last corner, you're just trying to keep traction, DRS open, across the line, and heading for La Source, the first corner, looking for the 100-metre board. There it is. Gets the nose in quite nicely. Ooh, bit of a loose back end there. That's never a good thing. Right, so yeah, accelerating up towards the Rouge. Not a lot to say or do here, really. Just picking your line through it, trying not to go onto the grass on the inside. Cut a little bit of curb there if you can. Ran a little bit wide there, and I think it did slow him down slightly. Open the DRS, heading down, thinking about your braking point for the Con, or the Coon, or whatever you want to call it. Into third gear, hugging the apex, taking a nice bit of curb there. Seems to have a lot of traction through this corner. I didn't have the same sort of traction he just had. Braking downhill, third gear, back end's a little bit lively. It's got it nicely there, nice bit of acceleration, fourth gear into this corner with no name. Nice. And then heading down towards Pouon, which if you're brave enough, you can take flat out in sixth. It looks like Lance was brave enough. Heading downhill still into this tricky chicane. Again, pick a braking point, get the nose in. Holds that well into fourth gear. The second part, run out wide, use as much track as possible. Down to third and out into the road section, which is a normal public road, heading towards Blanchemont. Again, nothing really to say here, just pick a line, accelerate through the gears into 8th eventually, although I think Lance probably will hold 7th through here, yeah. And then down to the last chicane, probably. You've done the whole lap, and this is where it could all go wrong, but you've picked a nice line through here. Accelerates well, no wheel spin, and across the line for a 48.2, was it? A 48.3, 48, fourth on the grid.
Yep, so at the end of the qualifying session, Amari came out on top, almost 3 tenths quicker than Indra, in a solid second place. Gareth Mesher and Ned Mesher in third, and as you can see, 9th and 4th. Dean just behind in fifth, only 1,000th of a second behind. Very close.
Yeah.
Rob, ahead of you, Ben, this week.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah. Was that genuine pace, or did you make a mistake?
Yeah, for sure. He was keen to pick up the track quicker than me this week, and hopefully this is a start of something for Rob.
Championship leader Gaza way down in 8th place this week, but doesn't what everyone's saying, he's set up for the race.
It seemed to be, as you'll see from the first corner.
Yeah. Carl in his home race down in 9th. Wagster ahead of F1 Dragon in 10th and 11th, and then Two Spell Wizard at the very back in 12th, making his return.
Yeah, I think Neil had a lot of lag issues, so he said his frame rate was terrible, so that explains why he's 12th. But nice to see him back anyway.
Mm. Oh, shut up.
There's fire alarm. There's fire. There's a fire. Get out, John. Get out now.
It's the phone.
Get out quick, fire. Is it fire?
No, it's a phone.
Alright, okay. There we
go. Yeah, at 10:20 on a Thursday evening, the phone is going off.
Maybe it's Amari.
Yeah.
He's not happy with the way you're doing this.
Yeah, clearly. But, yeah, the next part is the montage. So, a little montage, which we normally have at the end, will now be in the middle. Enjoy. Yep. So that was a beautiful montage, if I don't say so. If I do say so myself.
Gorgeous.
So race results. Ben, do you want to talk us through?
Yeah, sure. So even with a 10-second penalty, which was with controversial collision even with Carl, that no one saw, but sounds like a racing incident. We'll go no further on that. Amari wins, 25 vital points. Gaza second from 8th on the grid, and made quite an amazing result, really. Lance in third. Fair play to him, well done for that. He drove an excellent race, as you'll see from the highlights, I'm sure, in that montage we just had. I managed to make my way up to 4th, but lucked in because there was a collision between Dean and Gareth Besham on the last lap. Rob 5th, showing signs of improvement, like I was saying in the qualifying, and carried that through to the race. And again, benefit from the collision. Dean getting home in front of Gareth in 6th and 7th. Carl in his home race, the Pride of Belgium, in 8th place. Wexter 9th, F1 Dragon 10th, so good for those boys to get some points. Well done turning up, and again, you didn't get lapped this time either, so you're getting better.
Yeah, I was watching them on the mini-map on a couple of people's footage, and up until like the last lap, they were pretty much racing the whole way.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They're a credit to the league, like I was saying before. They just turn up and they race their ass off. And I like seeing where they are in the championship, and that news can get the last couple of points. Interviews with Amari, Carl and Lance.
Yes, so this week we have driver interviews. Actual interviews rather than just them writing down us telling you what they said. Proper interviews. So, first of all, we have Amari and Lance talking about their podiums. So, Amari, first things first, congratulations on a great weekend and closing the gap slightly on Gaza. How do you feel?
Thank you very much. Happy with the win. I only closed the gap by 7 points, so it's not that much, but a win's a win, and I'm happy with it, nonetheless. So, yeah, thank you very much.
So you started the weekend in the best possible manner, getting pole. Was that expected, or do you reckon you could have gone even quicker?
I think that was my best lap ever. I think that was my best lap ever. I nailed every corner, every apex. It was just a sweet lap. I don't think I could have got much more out of that lap, even if I tried, to be totally honest.
So come the race, you had a penalty and still managed to win. So was it as easy as it looked, or was it more challenging than meets the eye?
I think it was. What it is, when you're out in front, it's not that easy because you've got to still maintain your pace, still try and maintain the gap and stuff like that. So, no, it wasn't an easy race. There was moments in the race where the guys behind were catching slightly, but yeah, it's pretty cool. First couple of laps was fun, and then from there I just built a gap, and I led the race pretty much the whole way.
Lance, congratulations on your first Sunday Night Championship podium. How do you feel?
Whoop, whoop. It's a great achievement, actually. Lost a lot of motivation when the game came out, but watched a bunch of YouTube videos and got that motivation back. It's about time I got one, though, especially in the SNC.
So Ben, what do you think and what they said?
Fantastic, yeah, I agree with every single word.
Yeah. Do you think they both deserve to be on the podium?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Amari, obviously, very important for the championship that someone's finally stopped Gaza's run. Vicky's probably surprised that Gaza was behind him at one point, but yeah, he totally dominated the race. And Lance, well, he deserved it for his racecraft and his persistence. And any one of us, though, from 3rd down to 8th place could have been on the podium. But yeah, he got the luck of the draw at the end there, and yeah, deserves it. It's good to have him back in the league because, I say, he's a good driver, and that's what we need.
Yeah, there's a couple of incidents in the race involving Amari, Carl, and Lance. Amari and Carl had one with each other, and Lance had one with Dean, which also added up to Gareth Mesham being involved as well. So let's see what they have to say. Had a collision with Amari during the race. Talk us through what happened and your opinions.
I believe, I started on the prime and he started on the option, so I went longer as him, and he came out of the pits, I think, but I was just behind him, and so I got DRS and overtook him on the Camel Straight. And then, yeah, as I was on the prime, I was a little bit slower in the corners. But yeah, I'm not saying he did something bad or that's for everyone else to judge for themselves. But I'm just saying I took my corner into the right, left, and then again the right one. In that corner, I just took my corner as I was in front, taking the racing line. And well, from where I was standing, again, everyone his own opinion. He hit me on the right rear tire, yeah. And we spun a little, nothing major, but enough to lose us quite some time. And well, I was surprised that he just took off and didn't let me pass again, as I would have had. So.
Do you think he could have done more to avoid it?
Or I don't think he wanted to, but he was, from where I'm standing again, I think he was going for a gap that wasn't there really. So.
Okay. Do you think the incident ruined your rhythm a bit and you might have been a bit higher up had that not happened?
Well, I would definitely be higher up, but it's not only that incident, it all came together in that race. But I'm not saying I would definitely end up on the podium, because I would have been in other battles then. I think I would have been quite close, really. And, well, nothing to say up to the next race. It's not like that one race was bad. I've had other bad races as well, so I'm not saying it's because of that I didn't score so many points.
So you got the penalty through a collision with Carl, was it?
Yeah, through a collision with Carl.
Talk us through your opinion and your angle of the event.
From my point of view, come out the pit lane. I've come out just ahead of Carl. We've gone up Eau Rouge. Carl's got the DRS on me, so he's overtaken me. He's gone into Lacombe, taken the apex nicely, but it looked like on the exit of Lacombe, going into the right-hander, he's got a little oversteer moment that's pulled him out to the left-hand side, which has left a gaping gap for me to just try and dive down the inside. I think, in hindsight, probably an ambitious move, but, you know, he did make a mistake and what it looked like to me, and I just tried to take the gap that he left on the inside. He's come across me. I wouldn't say he's chopped me off or anything like that, but he did come across me. I didn't have nowhere to go, and we've made contact, and I got the penalty for it. I don't think I hit him off the track because he was still behind me, directly behind me after the incident. But yeah, it's pretty much right.
So are you taking responsibility, or do you think it's more of a racing incident?
I think it's a racing incident, in my personal opinion. It's just one of those things. I can understand why Carl's a bit aggrieved, but from my point of view, I think we're going into the corner side by side, and he's just come across me slightly. But in all fairness, it probably was an ambitious move on my part, and if I am at fault, I do apologise. Like, I have sent him a message already, but in my opinion, you know, I had a right to go for that gap. As I saw him, he went a little bit wide and made a little mistake.
So there was a bit of a talking point just before you finished in podium position, which was your incident involving Dean.
Right.
Talk us through your view of it.
I mean, we were battling pretty much all race. I mean, our second stint, that's where everyone got stretched out, and we started closing up on Dean in the final stint. Even though me and Gareth were battling, I caught him on the penultimate lap going into the bus stop chicane. Noticed he was a little light on traction, so I figured I'd go ahead and try to pass him before the DRS because I figured he wouldn't be able to keep up. And he left me basically no room on the exit of turn one, so going up to Eau Rouge, I figured if he wasn't going to give me any quarter, wasn't going to give him any quarter back. So I guess that's just kind of how that went.
Yeah, so have you talked to Dean about it?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
No.
I haven't really talked to anybody about it. I mean, it seemed more of a racing incident, but, you know, it's just the way it goes. I gave him as little room as possible, but, you know, like I said, it's just returning the favor on how he drove me on turn one, so.
Yeah, so do you think you or him could have avoided it, or just happened?
I think it just happened. I mean, he ran a little deep into that turn, and that's when I tried to undercut him, and I mean, yeah, I just gave him as little room possible, so figured something was going to happen.
Yeah, so do you think you would have been on the podium even without it?
I think it would have been close, but yeah, I think I would have ended up getting Dean probably around the bus stop chicane or a little bit before there probably, because he was really struggling for traction, being on those primes for I think he pitted on the end of 7, so that would have been 14, 15 laps on the primes.
Okay.
What's happening?
Just give your views.
On what?
Mario and Carl.
Oh, well, yeah, I have not seen the incident, so I don't really know. I can't really have an opinion on something I haven't seen, but if they're saying it's a race, it sounds like it's a racing incident when you see what they've said on the race thread. Yeah, it's just one had more grip than the other. I think Amari had new tyres, so maybe he thought he could brake later. Maybe Cole thought that he couldn't get through the gap that was there. Who knows? But it sounds like it was a racing incident.
Lance, about
the Lance Dean thing. I've looked at it from a couple views, and if I'm honest, I think Lance could have possibly give Dean a little bit more room. He kind of pinched him on the apex, and Dean had to go across the curve, and they contacted. I'm not really sure why Gareth waited. I just don't understand that one, but he felt like he had to, so he did. But if it was anyone's fault, it's sort of Lance's, but you can see, I don't know, it's hard to judge, but he sort of did pinch him, and maybe Dean was entitled to a little bit more space.
Yeah. I agree. But I'm pleased Gareth did wait, because obviously there's 2 more points for Ferrari.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was at fault for something, but Dean was already spinning by then.
Yeah, he couldn't really avoid it in the end, could he?
No. He's too honest.
Yeah.
Honest Gareth. That's what we're going to call him from now on.
So there was some different strategies throughout the race.
You just say.
I said throughout. It was throughout. And ironically, all 3 of the guys we interviewed had different strategies. So let's hear what they had to say.
I started on the prime and I've done many races actually, 50% even, to test what is fastest, and I knew one stop was fastest if you didn't get into any traffic. And well, it was perfect. I started on the prime, and I knew I had to do 12 laps on those. And in the first lap, I made a mistake in the Pujol. It's a long left one, and it lost me quite some time in places. And actually, on Ben, it lost me time, and I actually came back to him as he was also on the prime, but he was behind options, and he could stay with them, and I could gain actually on Ben at that time. I think I closed a 5-second gap at that stage, so I was quite confident, and knowing I could do a 1 stop and even follow those on the first stint, I think I could have ended up before all of them, but yeah, it didn't pan out like that.
It's a one stop race for me. I think I pitted lap 10 or 11, and then done the rest of the race on the prime tyres.
Cool. Yeah. You went for a 2 stop. Think that was the fastest strategy, or do you think maybe could have gone for a 1?
We did some testing, and a 1 stop. It was ideal, but I just didn't know how many people were going to do a 1 stop or how many people were going to do a 2 stop. Decided on the 2 stop because I just didn't want to do the 1 stop and make a mistake and ruin the whole race, or do a 1 stop and everybody else be doing a 1 stop and just get held up anyway. So that's kind of what I was hoping for. I was hoping everyone was going to 1 stop, and I would have been the only 2 stopper, because then I would have been flying at the end.
Yeah. Ben, what strategy did you use?
Well, I did try to employ a 1 stop strategy like Amari did, but I couldn't get my tyres to last as long, so I went with an aggressive 2 stop, starting on primes. And I kind of hoped that I could hang on to the pack, which helped, which I did, to be honest, because they were all battling. And then I was hoping that once I got into the options that I could get past them quite easily and just move on from there. But for some reason, the first set of options, I wasn't catching the guys on primes, which was slightly worrying. And then my last set of options, Carl, was awesome, and that's what carried me forward. So yeah, I went with the 2 stop prime option.
Do you reckon that was the fastest one? Or?
It was for me, but I think the fastest was a one-stop if you can get your tyres to last long enough and keep the pace up. So, yeah, I think the one-stop was probably the best, but for me, with the degradation I had with the tyres, it was only going to be a two-stop.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, so let's look at the championship standings and how it has been affected. Gaza is, well, his lead's been brought back a little bit. Amari is now in second. The gap to the top is 19 points. Yeah, 19 points.
Well done, mate.
I know.
You've been practicing that, haven't you?
I have, yeah. Dean is slipping back a little bit, but never know. Next track is a Ferrari track. Hopefully he can pick up some points there and maybe leapfrog Amari again and start challenging for the top. Ben, you're up to fourth. Happy days.
Yeah, very happy with that. Passing the champion of last season, that's something to take a picture and send to your parents, isn't it?
If you feel that's necessary,
that's
then
a big deal to pass Gareth. I mean, the guy's a class act, as I said on many occasions. So that does mean a hell of a lot.
Yeah. And then Rob, well, Gareth in fifth, as we said. Rob starting to gap Kyle now. He's in seventh. Neil had the chance to close up the gap to Kyle, but unfortunately didn't finish the race. Me in ninth still. Stephen 10th. Lance is now with the first podium of the season up to 11th. Indrek still languishing down in 14th. I would have expected him to be a bit higher up by now. And he's only 4 points ahead of Peter, which is surprising, seeing as no offence to Peter, but the speed difference is quite substantial.
Yeah.
But Peter and Graham sticking at it, knocking it, getting a few points in the go, and having their own private battle.
Yeah, but they're improving, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you, really. Do you reckon Lance is going to catch you? Because I think he might.
Yeah, how many points is he? He's on 31, I'm on 42. Yeah, he could do, actually. I didn't realise he was that close
You've not
behind.
realised that.
Yeah, I didn't realise he was that close behind me. I don't know. As I've said last few weeks now, the second half of the season is my stronger point. So hopefully I'll start catching up to like Neil and Carl. But yeah, I'm going to have to be careful with Lance.
Yeah, I think so. He's definitely
quicker than me.
He might even have a teammate this weekend because rumours we might have a couple of drivers signing up. That's had a few messages about people interested. So yeah, we might have a fairly full grid this week.
Happy days.
Oh yes.
So Constructors, Toro Rosso top scoring this week with 27 points, closing the gap to me and Dean and Ferrari by quite a lot. It's a bit worrying. But Red Bull closing the gap even more to Williams, who are still struggling with one driver. Well, Neil raced this week but didn't score. But Mercedes getting back on into double figures.
Yeah. It was important to us. I think Williams were just edging us on points each week the last 2 weeks, so it was important to get a couple more Robs to improve form as well. That's given us a nice little haul as well. But you got to give Toro Rosso credit this week. Amari scoring and obviously Graham helping out as well with a couple of points. So closing on the red car.
Yeah. So here's what interviewees have to say about their championship hopes and aims. Do you still think you can win the championship?
Anything can happen. Those are races left to go. Anything can happen. I'm going to push hard. I'm going to keep trying and see what happens at the end of the year, to be honest. I'm already happy with my season. Really, really pleased. Don't think it could have gone any better. So, see what happens. Bring the challenge to Gaza, and I hope Jack Gaza's going to bring the challenge to the rest of us. So, it's about stepping up to the challenge.
Yeah, cool. So, you're 7th in the championship at the moment. What are your aims for the rest of the season?
Well, my aim at the start of the season, well, not at the real start, but after a couple of races, was like, yeah, those top 4 are gone, and I'm just going for that 5th place. Just battling fair every time out and see if I can beat Ben and Rob and the others around me. But it seems like Ben it's just gone. He's very quick now, and I can't really compete with him anymore. Although it could have been different, but doesn't matter really. So he seems gone. Although on some tracks I might be able to follow him, but he's too many points ahead. So I think I'll go for that 6th place now. I'll try to beat Rob sometimes. Although he's getting quicker as well. So.
Do you reckon you'll be able to add to your 2 podiums that you have?
Well, again, without going into the bad versus real discussion, but if it trains, I've got a good chance. Other than that, there are some tracks coming up which I like as well, and I feel comfortable at, which is important for me to get a good feel around the track, to actually be fast and to be consistent, which I believe is my strong suit. But so I think I could be having some more podiums, but everything has to go my way then anyways.
So, with just under half of the races left to go, what are you aiming for the rest of the season?
I'm hoping for just like a mid-table finish would be nice. I mean, I haven't done as many races in the SNC as I would like, but I can blame work for that one.
Yeah, where you aiming to like getting top 10 or the championship?
I'm sure that'd be pretty easy to do. Seeing that, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but it just seems like some people aren't showing up, and the people that are at the bottom end of the table are people that usually don't score points, or they quit before the race is over and stuff like that.
Ben, now you're in the top 4. Do you think you're in with a chance of the championship at all?
Well, I wouldn't have thought so, no, but anything can happen. The thing is, I'm not winning races. The other guys, when you talk about people that are going to win races each week, my name doesn't come up. So it's always Dean, Amari, usual suspects, 2 Gareths.
Yeah. And
they're capable of winning every race. So, I'm happy with the way it's going at the moment. So if you were to give me 4th place at the end of the season, I would probably take that.
Yeah. So looking forward to this week in Italy. I hear that you're not getting on too well.
Without swearing, I fucking hate this track. Yeah, it's not gone well, mate. But then people accuse me of sandbagging, but as in Spa, I said it wasn't going to go well, and it didn't to start with. I lucked in a little bit. But I just tell the truth, I hate this track, and if you go over my last few videos of this place, you can see that I don't get on with it. So I'll just take any points I can get this week and then move on to Singapore, where I hope I should be strong. But I can't even be asked to practice the place. I despise it.
Yeah. And with a chance of rain.
That'll make things worse for me. And there's certain people with pads that have got awesome grip that I've seen around,
Not naming names or anything.
No, I'm not naming names, Jonathan, but there's a couple of guys called Sikhs.
Couple? There's only one Sikhs around this time.
Another guy called Sikhs. But if it's a wet race, I expect the pad boys to be up there. If it's a dry race, Amari's looking ridiculously fast. Even yourself's looking pretty good there, mate. As I've alluded to just a minute ago.
Italy's one of my most successful tracks. Well, I've never won or got a podium, but in terms of outright pace, it's been one of my best.
Yeah, I do actually remember a couple of times you going well here.
Actually, I think I have got a podium there once, but
I think you did well in season 5 or
season 3,
last
I
season.
think it was.
You turned up for like a one-off thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got form here, but like I said, I can't stand the place.
Yeah. This is what the interviewees have to say about it.
I'm hoping for another podium. Trying to get as many points as I can before the end of the season, since I've joined halfway, I guess. So,
And with the chance of rain, do you think it will come? And if so, are you gonna relish the opportunity? Or?
There's always a chance for rain at Italy. It's just the way it is. But I mean, if it does, then good luck to the pad users.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, that's if. I mean, it's not so bad if, on inners. It's not so bad for the wheel, but once you get to full wets, then it's pretty much all lean mix the whole time, just to keep the car on the track.
Yeah.
Well, it's as I said on the race topic, it's a track I quite feel comfortable at, while it isn't the most exciting for me, to be honest. But I do actually feel comfortable with the track and the car on that track. So I feel like I should have a nice result. Again, it will depend on the race, obviously.
So your preparations are going well then?
Well, the preparation itself, I've done some in the past already. I haven't really practiced yet this week that much, but I will definitely do some this weekend.
So with the possibility of rain this week, hoping for it or not really too bothered?
The thing is, I know we are advantaged, but I don't believe we are that advantaged as everyone thinks. Sure we are, but I think it's not that. Yeah. How do I say this without insulting the real drivers?
Just do it. Insult them. Go for it.
I don't mean it like that. I just say I would love, as I don't play a role in the championship anyway, that it's every race dynamic. And let's have some fun with the mixed conditions every race, or at least those races that the game decides to have us have fun with. But I understand that they want to keep it fair, so we don't actually gain places in the championship either. No, I understand it totally. But yeah, with the possibility of rain, to come back to the question, I'm not really hoping for it, but it will help me if it's there. And actually, on that track, plus the rain, we could even win with the bad users. So.
Yeah. So you're 7th in the championship at the moment. What are your aims for the rest of the season?
Well, my aim at the start of the season, well, not at the real start, but after a couple of races, was like, yeah, those top 4 are gone, and I'm just going for that 5th place. Just battling fair every time out and see if I can beat Ben and Rob and the others around me. But it seems like Ben it's just gone. He's very quick now, and I can't really compete with him anymore. Although it could have been different, but yeah. Doesn't matter really, so he seems gone. Although on some tracks I might be able to follow him, but yeah, it's too many points ahead. So I think I'll go for that 6th place now. I'll try to beat Rob sometimes. Although he's getting quicker as well. So.
Do you reckon you'll be able to add to your 2 podiums that you have?
Well, again, without going into the bad versus real discussion, but if it rains, I've got a good chance. Other than that, there are some tracks coming up which I like as well, and I feel comfortable at, which is important for me to get a good feel around the track, to actually be fast and to be consistent, which I believe is my strong suit. But yeah, so I think I could be having some more podiums, but yeah, everything has to go my way then anyways.
Big accident at turn 1 and turn 4. On a more serious note, it'll be a fun race. I know a lot of people think, slipstream and overtaking. I just think that where you max out your top speed so quickly, I don't think there's going to be much overtaking. But I may be wrong, but I don't think there's going to be much overtaking. It's going to be a normal race, to be honest. Monza doesn't particularly excite me as a track, totally honest.
So it's a bit of an out there question, and I probably know the answer, but are you hoping for rain?
No.
So,
bottom line, no.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right, so moving on to the final section, overtake of the week. Your favourite part, Ben?
I'm not in it, am I?
No, I'm afraid not.
I don't think I overtook anyone other than Rob.
Well, there's only DRS passes that you and Rob made.
Yeah. Do they not count or something?
Well, there was better passes than DRS. Let's put
Okay.
that way. So
roll BT.
Yep. So first one, is Lance on Dean. So this was on last lap. Got a good run out of the chicane. He goes, well, he's got a DRS, but not fully passed yet, and hangs it around the outside. Bit of contact, but Lance holds on to the place and sticks it. Yeah.
Bit of Evans racing there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Lance knew he could do that because I think he actually got overtaken that way earlier in the race. So I think he learned from that and used it to his advantage to get around Dean.
Yeah, as you can see from this one by Gazza on Lance.
Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. You can see he's pinched on the inside, but the grip's all on the outside. Gazza actually did this to me and Rob on the first lap. Just went through the middle of us.
Yeah. And finally, we have
Rob's involved in the overtake of the week.
Yeah, we've got Lance overtaking Dean and Rob.
Yeah.
So
I was actually just behind this, and I saw 3 abreast, and I was like, right, if I stay here, this will end in tears.
Bit of a kerfuffle, but Lance makes it through the middle and then has to hang it around the outside.
Yeah, really good. This is what I mean. He deserved the podium. He was driving so well.
Yeah, kind of like the Ricardo of that race.
He was retarded?
I'm saying kind of like the Ricardo.
Yes, I thought that's what you said. Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, I'd say he was really good with his position in the car and his driving. Third place is just reward.
Congratulations on overtake of the week.
Awesome, fantastic. was that the double pass out of the bus stop there?
Yeah, the one between Dean and Rob.
Dean and Rob, yeah.
Yep. Right, that brings us to the end of this week's podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you to Amari for your ideas. Sorry if we fucked it up for you.
We probably have.
But yeah, again, send hate to Amari. It's his fault.
We probably have made a bit of a mess of it, but yeah, we tried.
It was meant to be short, but I don't think it is. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ben.
It's okay, mate. Good luck for Monza.
You
Pressure's
too.
on, mate.
Cheers.
Pretty sure you can win.
No, I'm not. Yeah. See you later, guys. See you next week.
See you next week. Bye.